Aptera's claims don't make any sense. They claim they can get 10 miles per kilowatt hour and 1,000 miles of range in their EV, which doesn't make any sense. They claim their car is efficient, so let's compare it to another efficient electric car or two. Here are a handful, but I don't think the EV1 is a great comparison because it's so old and the Electromechanica Solo data is scarce for it. So we can compare it with the 2015 Volkswagen XL1, and we can compare it with the previous iteration of the Aptera. Now, in comparison with the Volkswagen XL1, which is a car with a similar weight and a similar overall force of drag, with the Volkswagen XL1 getting 5.6 miles per kilowatt hour and Aptera's claim for their launch edition being 10 miles per kilowatt hour, this doesn't make any sense. Now, let's as well compare the current Aptera with the previous iteration of the Aptera from 2010. Now, we know these claims are more trustable because this version of the Aptera was entered in the 2010 Automotive X Prize. Now, while the weight of the two Apteras are similar, the new one has a slightly better coefficient of drag. The frontal area, the only source I could find was ecomotor.com, so take that. It's probably just a guess, but they're similar overall. Now, with the 2010 Aptera getting 5 miles per kilowatt hour and the claimed new Aptera getting 10 miles per kilowatt hour, despite having a similar weight and a similar overall force of drag, once again, the new Aptera claim doesn't make any sense. Now, some may say, well, the new Aptera is not a fair comparison to either the old Aptera or the Volkswagen XL1 because the new Aptera uses hub motors, which are more efficient. Now, there's one vehicle that has been EPA tested with hub motors, that is the Lordstown Endurance. So, for a comparison against the F-150 Lightning, a similar quad cab, short bed, body-on-frame pickup truck, when comparing the range, the battery size, and the weight, the Lordstown Endurance gets a worse efficiency rating. So hub motors are unlikely to magically make the new Aptera significantly more efficient than either the Volkswagen XL1 or the old Aptera. Now, here's where Aptera's claims get really weird. The battery cells are labeled with their diameter in millimeters for the first two digits and the height of the cell in millimeters for the second two digits, hence names like 18650 or 2170. Now, Aptera claims that they are going to use the same number of cells as their 40 kilowatt hour pack, with 2190 cells and 21120 cells to get their 60 kilowatt hour pack and their 100 kilowatt hour pack. Now, aside from the fact that neither of these two new cell formats are in production, it's rather interesting that the 2190 format would give approximately 30% capacity boost for a total of 51 kilowatt hour pack, and the 21120 cell format would theoretically give a 70% capacity boost for a 70 kilowatt hour pack. Neither of these two cell sizes are big enough to reach 100 kilowatt hours, which would be needed for the 1,000 mile of range claim, which itself is incredibly hard to believe given how much higher that is than the Volkswagen XL1 and the previous iteration of the Aptera.